Testing, testing, testing. Um, all right, let's talk. We need to talk. We need to really talk. We need to start talking real hardcore. So I just found out that good old oh, what's wrong with my face? Why is my face? Oh, hold on. My face is not. Huh? Hello? Okay. Just found out that we're headed towards an AI overlord system. Um, LG TVs are getting infected. And I say this not so loosely because you have to consider what certain factors and traits of a spyware is. Okay. Even by the basis of what we would normally consider a spyware, a piece of software that looks like it's a nice, useful tool that I used to download a lot in the past. And it would be like, oh yeah, go ahead. You can use this to, let's say, scan your network. Well, those pieces of software turn out to be sending data home about my network. And that data being sent somewhere is basically to spy. Now, the level of spyware varies, of course. Some will send, well, simple data, like what websites we go to, how many cookies or something, basically whatever tracking data they can for advertising purposes. Cool. Okay. And others will be basically keyloggers that will track every single thing we type and then phone home with details. Now, there's a problem here. There's a big problem here. Big problem that we're looking at is TVs are now becoming this home for spyware. We're looking at Microsoft. Yes, that one. That recall. Based on the title, you've seen recall, right? You see that it is a recall. Recall, don't get confused by the wording. These are just basically marketing words and names and all that jazz. But basically, recall is a piece of software that applies and uses AI to monitor your actions on the web and then turn that stuff for advertising profit. To better to better advertise for you is the idea, I suppose. Now, there is some teeny tiny problems with this. That problem? Whatever is going on in the back end of this AI system, well, there's more than one problem. One is that it actually keeps track. Like if you take a look at recall for Microsoft, what does recall for Microsoft do? Let's take a look. In the official statement of it all, retrace your steps. Okay, that's a pretty vague statement there. Designed for Copilot Plus. Okay. Snapshots of your screen every few seconds. Okay. Let's imagine this is just a regular desktop that we don't have private data. It's a snapshot. And then let's come back to reality and imagine that we have so much private data, like banks, passwords, logins, that are being taken as screenshots by this system. And they are forcing people to access or be provided with this on their Microsoft Windows 11 system. This is why there's a huge push. I've seen a lot of not just techies, even simple users, and even in my case, I'm recommending people leave Windows. Windows 10, it's still usable, but give it a year or two and there will be exploits. They stopped support for the system, there will be exploits. Now, for the case being, there are alternatives. It just takes user effort to get to those. The biggest piece of effort, changing the way you interact with the computer, even so slightly. I can't even say it's changing because it might be icons that look different, images that look different on your screen. We've gone over some Linux systems that basically function and act and look like a Windows machine. You just have to search for certain things. Maybe the naming conventions change. Fine. But it's a very small speed bump to what it used to be when it came to migrating from these toxic corporations. So Windows 11 is coming baked in with this AI that basically takes a look at your screen every X seconds. Great. And all in the form of retracing your steps. So if you forget something, you can ask your little AI, oh, AI, what's my password that I forgot about on this website? And AI will go through, take a picture. Now, the big key is there's a couple of problems here, right? One of them is that these pictures are being saved on your computer. These are screenshots, snapshots of information that could be very, very private. The other thing is if your computer gets exploited or hacked into, now that hacker has a very quick way to pretend to be you and ask the AI on your behalf about your passwords, which now leads him to have a very simple task of just accessing your computer and asking the AI, hey, I forgot my password. Can you tell me what it is? And the AI will think it's you, but it will be that person in which has maybe sat in front of your computer at office or gotten onto your computer through remote session, desktop, any desk, team viewer, whatever way method that will prompt someone to exploit your computer, access it, and then ask your friendly AI helper on your behalf what your passwords are. And boom, the AI will let them know. Now, there's a case scenario where they are saying, oh, yeah, we're not doing passwords. Those are blurred out or those are not being, well, scanned or snipped or screenshotted. That's a percent error. It takes the AI to identify it, let alone a folder full of screenshots that can be taken to another computer and then parsed by somebody else to notice that the AI accidentally took a picture of you typing in your password. And now they know the digits, how long your password is, and potentially some key factors that'll help identify a password to login correlation. And on top of that, connected to all the data points that we have right now of people's public data being leaked from corporations losing control over their own network security and the dark web being fed billions and billions of private data passwords and emails and addresses and social security numbers. That's all you need is to know how many digits a password is. And then you can reverse trace user email to password with a large enough data set. This is just the icing on the cake. So if I haven't proved to you how bad this is, let's continue on a little bit further. I thought Microsoft only did Microsoft things on Windows. Oh, ho ho ho, ho ho. Would you be so mistaken? Let's see. Where'd I stash this other bit here? Where'd I stash this other bit here? Okay, so let's do Samsung. Let's go this way. Samsung and LG. Let's just add on these two little pieces here. Samsung and LG. What's gonna happen? Oh, Copilot on Samsung? Wait a minute. Windows Recall is a feature designed to help users find things they've seen, capturing and indexing screenshots of their screen activity. Uh-huh. What about available co-op PCs, which include devices from Samsung and LG? It seems a little not complete. It doesn't seem complete. Windows Recall might be storing more data than you think. Oh, really? Oh, I wouldn't expect that. What, you mean like passwords maybe? Hmm. Hmm. This is so no bueno. Hold on, I'm missing some details here. Also, I'm having issues with seeing my tabs at the top. No, it's not it. So basically, in fact, we might watch a video on this because Clown TV did it best. Uh, not Clown TV. Clownfish? Clownfish TV? Windows, Samsung. Oh, I think that was it. I just watched. I literally, this is what prompted me to get started. By the way, we're gonna go into the details on how, if, and potentially you can decouple from, you guessed it, LG, which I've gotten a pretty good process for it forward. It's a little techy, but it is possible so far. If you can tell right here, I've actually SSH'd into my LG TV at the moment, and I'm ready to do the next steps, which I wanted to show live as we're going through this. But first, I really need to show you this, man. This is just ugh. This is just making me like they're going quick. Like I'm not mad at the fact that they're doing it, that they're trying to like incorporate AI into these systems and improve our lives in one way or another. But the suspicious part is they're forcing it hardcore without thorough testing. They're forcing it on TVs, on refrigerators, on so many things that it just makes you think, why are we rushing through this? Why are we going so hardcore into this direction? And it's been insane. It just doesn't feel right. It does not feel right in any sense of the word. When something gets rushed without proper testing, like, you know, solutions for um, certain diseases that we ran through in 2020, without proper testing, you have a lot of issues.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to talk to you about Windows 11. And, for those of you who follow the channel, you know I am not a huge fan of Windows 11. I've actually been trying
Nope.
to de-Microsoft.
Uh, I have been having some network issues today. What is up with this? Since I woke up in the morning, my general ping has been lacking. Not now, not now.
Several of our Office PCs. I've been installing Linux Mint.
Which we've gone through. We've tried to install it ourselves. Give me a second here. Do a little bit of adjustments. Wow. What? What? What's with the network, man? Hmm. Un momento. Let's listen to some music while I get this done. I've been on a swing hype in the last couple of days. Ooh, that's loud. Huh. My network's fine. Is it YouTube? Oh. I mean, it's not, but it also isn't great. If your website's in one of the top 10 and you're experiencing problems, there's probably something going on. But my local network's fine. Not local. My connection technically is fine. All right. Well, use Down Detector to figure out if anything weird has happened online, by the way. Very useful tool. Especially when you're like browsing and all of a sudden things slow down. All right. Let's continue and see how this goes.
On them. I'm very happy with it so far. The only problem I
Seriously? Seriously, you couldn't buffer forward a little extra? A little extra? You couldn't do that for me? You couldn't do that for me. Hold on. Hmm. Gonna have to reduce the quality here just to get it through. There's nothing crazy to see. Even then, the internet is falling apart. Oh, not good, not good. Not good at all. Okay, well. DF? No, it's buffered. Hmm. Peculiar, peculiar. Let me see some things I can do here to limit some of my connections. It's getting unsuspicious, yeah? Very, very suspicious. And lock down any connection that's trying to work me. Super weird. Let's try refresh. There we go. And yet, we go nowhere. What is going on with the internet today, guys? Do I gotta look up some hack maps or something? I mean, YouTube seems to have a decent path.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is
Oh, Cat, did you have to take the stinkiest deuce ever? Ugh. Uh, uh, it's in the air. There's a cloud of deuce. Cat, white cat. What? They removed botnets? No way. No way Kaspersky removed botnets. BADs. Oh, ooh, what are you guys doing? On access scan, on demand scan, mail antivirus, web antivirus, intrusion detection scan, vulnerability scan. Kaspersky anti-spam ransomware? Dude, they actually removed. All right, so if you've seen this in the past, this is sketchy because you got to consider Kaspersky is a Russian company, number one. Kaspersky being a Russian company gives us a little bit of a, what are you guys doing? But at one point, if you looked at a lot of my X account, because this is exactly why I do the things I do. I really wanted to maintain a breadcrumb list of things that happened in February. And it's crazy because in the end, now it's gone. The ability to do the same thing all of a sudden has been limited. This guy's gonna talk or not? Gonna load on forever. Yo, something's up with the internet. Something's up. Uh, hold on. If we go and search my account, cyber, 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 cyber. Is this it? Metrics, activity detection. It was one thing I looked at all the time, and I have it on gifts. I have it threat map currently unavailable. Checkpoint? There it is. There it is. Oh, there's no way they can get away with this. Look at this. All right. This GIF was a screenshot I took back in February 22nd, 2024, when the internet was actually getting crazy out there. And I always filtered out for this, BADs. These BADs means a botnet attack vector or something like that. It was basically zombie devices that have been hijacked at some point in time and have been working on a single network to attack using DDoS, basically take a crap ton of bandwidth on any particular device and overload it. Now even Twitter's having issues. Hmm. I wonder how it looks like on my stream. Hold on. Is it even my stream? Oh, I can't even tell honestly because if I'm having this much network issues generally, even me going to my stream would be an issue. Yeah, even my stream loading crazy. Well, from my current location. Hmm. Let me try another way. Hmm. Oh my God. The second whiff of the cat poop. I need to open up the windows more. Hold on. Okay. Actually, stream's not that crazy. Which is doing alright. All right. All right. This is worsening. Something's in the air right now. Wait a minute. There was odd. Okay. Like it literally loads the first something. Couple of seconds. There was some odd anti-Semite terrorist attacks in Australia, and I think there was some in the US, and it's coming close to
Project that into
Christmas.
your television set, into your smart TV.
There's something. Like, there's something building up, I feel like. Cloudflare? Hmm. Possible problems in Cloudflare. Oh yeah. There is a little bit. There is a little bit happening here. Anyway, what I was trying to say before I got distracted with the weirdness happening in the network connection. There was this little icon here for BAD. It's not an icon, it's a text. But basically, you'd filter out, get all the colors out of the way, focus on this color, which is like a teal cyan, whatever color. And it's the one that's prominent right now. And you would see all kinds of attacks going back and forth, whether it's coming from China, going to Ukraine. Ukraine was the middle at one point. Ukraine was literally like capture the flag style. Look at this. This is going from the world, Ukraine, US, Germany to China. And you would just follow these on a daily basis. I would follow these on a daily basis. And I took a bunch of these GIFs to basically track and record them because once it happens, it's done. They don't have a playback sequence. So what's the issue? The issue is that now if I go to this web, this same tool from 2 years ago, they don't have that botnet identification process anymore. They replaced it with Casper Sky anti-spam. What the fuck is that? Not only that, I've been trying to keep up with this, and when it used to exist, it was still here. They don't even have the same color value anymore. It's blue and green. It's not teal anymore. When I was watching this for a long period, did they just remove it or like replace it? Hold on. I was watching it for the last year and it hasn't been active in any way, shape, or form. It's just been empty. When I filter out all the others and I focus in on just the BAD, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They completely removed it. Yo, this is a shock. So let's recap what we just understand. This is a Russian website antivirus system. They've proclaimed they have no ties to the Russian mafia, or whatever you want to call it, government, right? But during 2022, if you track back everything I've put together, the Chinese spy balloon, the Boston Bridge accident, quote unquote accident, all of those hacked variances, especially the T-Mobile Verizon networking issues that they were blaming it on the solar flares. I talk about this in a couple of videos, but solar flares don't care if you're T-Mobile Verizon. How come it didn't affect anything else like cars, transformers, anything else that's affected by magnetic fields of high magnitudes? If you're into science, you understand how magnetic fields do work. But if you don't, you're going to believe what the TV says. Oh, yeah, yeah. It only affected T-Mobile, Verizon, and Sprint or whatever. And 50% of the network is down, whatever, because of the sun. But everything else is fine. Smart cars with chips working fine. Transformers, power grids working fine. Yeah, everything else is good. Just the sun has some beef against phone companies. That's what it is. Yeah. So there's an issue right there. Then now I realize they completely removed this botnet identification system. That's not good, which means that there's something happening where they don't want to display that they provide this observation. They've removed it completely from the online website. You can't even see it. Everything else is kind of pointless. The botnet, we want to keep track of botnets. You want to know where the majority of traffic is coming from. But they've removed that ability completely. There's 8 options now when there used to be 9 options, including the botnet. There's something sussy. It's getting even more and more sussy than I thought. Oh, and now if I put on my little tinfoil hat on, does this mean that potentially we're attempting to monitor all devices through this recall Microsoft AI thing, not for advertising purposes, but as a sort of counterintelligence to the networking that's happening all over the world? Also, there's a big like, if you watched the GIFs, the videos in the past that I've gone over on this subject, on the cyber war, Ukraine was the middle. It was kind of like the access hub between the East and the West. And Ukraine was a constant focus by all of these cases, all of these pathworks. And one day China would get bombed by all of these. The other day the US would get bombed by all of these. It would just be a constant back and forth fight. And Ukraine was that middle point. It was insane. It was insane. I'm just kind of going back now, trying to see. Been watching tons of cyber maps, tons of botnet activity showing a cyber war has been happening in the last 48 hours. This was February 23, 2024, literally after that Chinese spy balloon. I'd even attest it's an ongoing cyber war, man. Been tracking this in the last 48 hours since the last solar flares began. There it is. This is where the last solar flares began. 90% chance of cyber war. Got a gift trail of the latest botnet attacks on my posts. Let me see if I can filter this out because I know X doesn't do a good job doing that, honestly. Like filtering out a range, but also networking issues apparently. Anyway. Oh, buddy, there's something going on. Uh, there it is. There it is. Interesting. Remember cyber attacks as well. Solar flares last week, cyber attacks as well. This is again February 2024. Interesting how they will happen at the same time. The Drudge Report. Yeah, that was something. Pharmacies nationwide, right? There was also pharmacies involved. There were so many things involved in the cyber attack, dude. They were just like running with like they were like teenagers with new keys to a new car. Oh, these people are stupid. It's the fucking guns. It's the fucking people. You take away the guns, people will fight with rocks. Don't be an idiot. Anyway, so the issue then is this expand. Ooh, that's going up fast. Oh, hello. Anyway, the issue is we'll keep an eye on these things and I'll report as things happen. Apparently, we won't be able to watch this video. But basically, I wanted to find where the article was, but I could probably hunt it down manually anyway. Let's see. WebOS and Microsoft recall. Yep, there it is. That's the one he was looking at, actually. So let's go straight to the article. So LG's recent software update has forced. I haven't updated my LG TV for quite some time. I've been suspicious of every single update. I've turned off Microsoft updates. I've turned down off cell phone updates. I've turned off anything that I don't have to forcefully update. Maybe security updates, sure, but if it's like something that's particularly, you can do it on Windows, maybe potentially just look around for security updates. But even then, in the last year, I stopped updating because I think everything is pretty well set at the moment. And vibe coding has begun a thing. And I've been kind of like suspicious of vibe coding, and I don't want updates that are gonna happen in the next year from when I started ignoring updates to be all issues with vibe coding. So that's the issue. That's the issue. I've kind of been sus on this AI trend, and I don't trust updates. So I stopped updating my TV, my mobile, everything. I did include more firewalls, more closing of ports, making my network invisible to the outside. Um, Scanning ports on my network will not work. Like basically, I've made each one of my devices a ghost. Is it hackable? Yes, of course, especially when you turn off and you use old systems. But when you don't have the ability for specific access points and you're not stupid enough to download a file that will basically, well, open up inside your computer for a reverse shell, you'll be all right. Just don't open up suspicious things. So this was when this was AI assistant on smart TVs without removal option. No removing. Sparking widespread user backlash over privacy, bloatware, and loss of control. This is the spyware we're talking about. This is the LG, the recall spyware, right? I'm calling it straight up what it is. It's spyware. That's all it is. Your TV is now being updated with an LG software that has a co-pilot based AI that will read all the things you see, analyze your watching, your display information. So watching the things you watch, potentially, yeah, like, oh, it's gonna be able to give me recommendations based on the movies I like. Well, sure. Why couldn't they just do that with metadata? Why do they have to watch the screen directly to know what you're watching? Why can't they just look at a TV data set and say, oh, he's watching this on Netflix, right? Because they don't trust you to be watching on official channels. This is what they tried to do with those DRM controls. where they were trying to make certain content their DRM specific. So HDMI compliance, like certifications and processes only allowed DRM based approved certificates to pass through. So you wouldn't be able to watch movies, pirate them, or any other format that's not DRM compliant. So in this case, this is the other end scenario. This development raises profound question about user autonomy. Are we actually autonomous? Privacy, growing intersection of big tech partnership and consumer electronics. One can argue this is, oh, so we can advertise better to our consumers and whatnot. The other argument is they're literally watching what you're watching, and they'll have an AI be able to summarize the information that you're seeing, and then it gets sent back to mothership. Oh, he's watching how to, work with hardware, how to solder together multiple things. And he mentioned something about a wireless router that he's working on. And all of a sudden now you get tagged as someone that essentially curious to what's happening, to how a wireless router works. But now you have a red flag as an intention to use that wireless router, potentially hack it and use it maliciously. This is the future of this system. Give it 5 years, but this is what I see this becoming. An AI will overview and summarize everything you watch, send it back to mothership, and then they will tag you as a red flag if they see that your interests are going towards something a little bit less kosher than what other people do. Um, the controversy centers on a Reddit post, mildly infuriating, where a user lamented an unexpected addition of the code. Let's see that. I want to see this post. No, it's not. WebOS LG TV. There it is. Where are you? Thanks for the AI summary, my man, but how about you share that source? Update installs unremovable Microsoft Copilot. Backlash. WebOS Reddit does the new LG TV still have the related application available? Reddit OS LG Smart TVs were just god awful. I hate LG TVs, garbage in general, especially the WebOS. The company knows about the terrible Wi-Fi issue, yet does nothing. LG OLED. Hmm. What is going on? Subreddit where a user lamented the expensive Copilot. Da, da, da. The post, which garnered thousands of upvotes and comments, described the AI tool appearing as a non-deletable app on the TV's interface. Users echoed similar experiences, expressing dismay over what they perceived was a forced bloatware. That's what I'm saying. It's spyware. It's bloatware. This AI thing is a forced feature. It's bloatware. It's basically going to attempt to exist on your device for free, spy on you, and then send you what they would say is ad recommendations, but also on the side, keep track of what you're watching. Microsoft Copilot, originally designed as a productivity tool for Windows and web browsers, leverages generative AI to assist with tasks like content summarization and query responses. Its integration suggests an ambition to embed AI deeper into home entertainment. However, many owners, this feels less like an enhancement and more like an invasion. It really does. It really does. So you can find more about this. Also, here's an interesting factor. As I was looking through the web to find out some details about this access point for the LG TV that I have, because I have one, I noticed that as you're accessing through a SSH, the default username is actually prisoner. I logged in using prisoner at my TV's IP address using SSH. That's crazy, isn't it? That's almost like dystopian right there in our TV. Our TV is a prisoner, or are we the prisoner that we are being portrayed as behind the TV? So that's fun. Anyway, So a couple of things to note. The things I have currently completed on my process here to get this TV, basically almost, I haven't quite gotten it rooted, but I found this. I'll probably save this actual document here. That who knows when they will potentially uh, delete it from the online world. So I have managed to basically gain direct access to the TV itself, which is nice. So I'm logged into a root shell. Now I had to do it through a couple of factors. The first one being I had to follow some instructions. I'll leave uh this set of instructions actually in the description on YouTube. So if you're not following me on YouTube, go ahead and do so. Honestly, I don't even know where to go anymore. I have YouTube, Twitch, and now Rumble. I think the best place probably is X. I feel like that's becoming the least obtrusive and censored platform between everything. So potentially follow me on X. If you don't like X, I'm sorry, but YouTube is going to start being abusive to their content creators. They have already started. I got tagged for basically posting my work job as an option for students to go get help with tutoring. And they tagged that website as malicious, even though we literally have no historic background. And then we fixed it. You know how we fixed it? We added the website to this Google database of official, I don't know what the heck it was called. I have to look at the messages we had based on that um with my team members. But basically Google didn't like that we weren't registered with them. And because we weren't registered with them, they tagged us as a malicious website. And then I had to go do a little searching. The search console. Yeah, we had to go to the search console. Uh, and it worked with certain websites, which sorry, certain browsers. It didn't work with Firefox either. Firefox gave the same sort of, oh, this website's dangerous, blah blah blah. Chrome gave that also. Opera gave that also. I went on LibreWolf, which is a open source version of Firefox, which is disconnected from the mainstream system, and it was working just fine like it did before. In fact, even to this day, I cannot access. Oh, well, actually, they fixed it finally. Amazing. Oh, wow. It took a whole fucking week or two. Anyway, it was disconnected for the longest time period, and I had to use LibreWolf to actually gain access to the students so I can actually teach them, which is ridiculous. Anyway, Google's becoming a little bit too, what's the word? Yeah, here's actually the source that I used as our 'cause I have done this before, but to constitute a website to be malicious because we recommend uh, webmasters sign up for security notification, aka or security, yeah, notification, aka Search Console. You can find more information at this link. So we had to sign up to Google to tell them, hey, Google, like we chill, like we're just teaching people. But because we didn't have some sort of certificate, they immediately like marked us as malicious, which also was weird because that was the same moment that my YouTube channel got a mark or a warning based on that exact fact that I had Stigme Learning inside of the website or in my video. So they marked the Stigme Learning website in the video, and then immediately after, I saw the website was like, oh, this is a malicious website, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wait a minute, this happened almost asynchronously. So is YouTube actually using AI to scan web links and then automatically like disqualify or check some sort of database to see if it's listed under these Google approved very verifiable factors, right? And if it's not, then it forces all browsers connected to some central SSL point or something to treat those websites as malicious, even though they're not. So that was super sketch. There's a lot of weird stuff happening as I am doing my work on a daily basis. So okay, I updated the description with the link, and the key here is that you have a certain version of LG updates. I haven't done the last update, but I am at a 4.5. So I was just on the border of if I update my TV now, it's probably not gonna let me do this type of rooting process because it's gonna patch it. But basically, here's the process. This is the link that I left in the bottom in the description. First, how to find your IP address, a couple of ways. Well, first is to download something called developer tools, developer manager. Hold on, let me check what it's called. Developer mode. All right, so developer mode. Wonder if they have a screenshot here. Did I see someone post it? No. So developer mode is an app on your LG TV that looks like this. It's just this. All it is these little settings. That's it. First, you have the turn on the dev mode here. You turn this on, you restart the computer, the TV, boom. Then the next step is to get an RSA certificate from this key server. So every time you reset the developer mode application, the key server turns off. So you have to basically run the developer mode application, turn the key server on, then on a computer device, whatever, I think I don't think I have this. I did it also on my phone, so I got I got this key in different locations. But basically, you would open up a new tab, go to 192.168, in my case, 1.108 for my device, and I think it was, what's they say it right here, 9991 slash WebOS RSA. So basically, you put in that at the end, make sure your actual 9991, and then WebOS RSA. It's right now it's turned off, so it shouldn't be doing anything. Can't be reached, which is normal. But if you have that option in developer mode turned on, the key server, then this will actually download a file that you will save. And from that save, you will basically now use this file as your connecting factor to access point. Now, this is where that next step begins. Once you have this file, put it somewhere safe. The permission cases, there was a lot of, I was farting around with permissions a bit because I guess for this particular file, I had some errors, and this is me just completing everything now. The errors were, gotta clean up a little bit here. The error was that I could not connect more specifically because of this. Unprotected private key file, bad permission, public key something something something. Try removing permissions for user unknown. There was some issues with certain user permissions. So the users, basically, there's a weird kind of propagation of user privileges back and forth. So the solution was to go in here go to edit, remove everything. Remove system, remove user, remove administrator, and then add a new permission based on just the current user accessing. Let me find where that file is. So this is the other file, the one that actually works. So from here, you would essentially just add a new user, right? Go in here, add a new user, type in the username that you have for your system that's currently there, and only allow these two factors. This is all it needs to actually function. After that point, you access your device. There's my connection. Prisoner. That's nice, isn't it? I'm connected to my TV who is a prisoner. That's a fucking irony. And there was a passphrase that you have to enter. That passphrase brings us back to this developer mode. Where is it at? I just had it. I just had it. WebOS developer mode. The passphrase should probably, will most likely be completely different for different devices, different TVs, different people's devices, right? It shouldn't be the same password for everyone, but generally speaking, no. Come on, open this one. It'll be right here. This would be the passphrase. This is the key you're putting into the login. And this is basically right after you connect with the permission adjustments. This is the command that you get from that Reddit. And then this is where you put the passphrase. And now, bam, I'm inside of my TV. Now from here, the next step, what? Look at this. Look at the naming convention. I'm inside and they're calling this jail underscore app dot configure. Jail underscore app dot config dot signature. Yo, I'm gonna explore this TV, maybe make a full copy of this in like another database. That's just so weird. Oh my God, this is so dystopian to realize your own TV is called Prisoner. The username is Prisoner, and there's application files, configurations called jail dot underscore app dot conf. That's crazy. It's crazy. Delving into the technical state. So I'm basically trying to root my device so I can remove any updates and I can basically get this shit out of the way. I can do some homebrew stuff and stop my TV from constantly trying to tell me to update. And worse from all of it, one day I'm gonna be keep pressing that don't update button, but every time I turn on my TV, it's gonna keep asking me to update. Either I'm gonna accidentally press OK to update, or it's gonna press it for me. And I'm not gonna be there to watch it update, and all of a sudden now I have an updated AI spyware that's going to basically completely just So I'm doing this now. I'm gonna root my WebOS. I recommend anyone capable of doing something so simple. If you have an LG, do it yourself as well. Um, I mean, why not? You can basically start installing custom applications as well. So that's really a big reason to do so. And I think honestly, another big suspicion of mine is when I did a quick little Nmap scan, this kind of made me realize something. So I'm doing a little Nmap scan on my TV. It's noticing a couple of bits here. One of them is that it's a Linux system. Nice. I like Linux. Another issue, because it's probably Android based. Another issue is it recognizes it as a type of general device slash router. what that could really, that made me think like, what if we do have all these security network systems in play, but all of a sudden we have this one device that can actually act, it looks like a TV, but it's a router. It's an external router, including your local network into their wide area network. Look at that. That made me think. This made me think. This was like, wait a minute. My device could be essentially used as a router, which makes me think, oh, anyone can use my router as a wide area network access point to literally look inside of my network and use that as a gateway. So that's fun. A lot of things started to flash before my eyes when I started playing with this stuff, and I think we're getting to that point of dystopian futures. So I think if you want to keep your technology safe and away from this sort of like weird progression towards the 1984, where everything's listening and spying on you, even though you bought it with your own money, and all of a sudden it acts as a middleman for someone else to take care of like basically all of the processes. Oh yeah, let's just update your device. There's new security patches. Boom, updates the device. Now it can spy on you, can look at your network traffic, can basically manage everything on your network and listen in and decrypt and probably even decrypt your packets and then sniff them. Oh man, the eye opener this was for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Um, if you're not into the technical side of the world, I think it's time. I recommend you start learning. Use my videos as guidance. Ask any questions during live streams. Apply what we know to the things around you, and start bulletproofing your systems. Your corporate oligarchs are trying to take control, and it's up to us to know what we have, know what we can do to get rid of these chains and these cameras and these, I don't even know if this TV has a microphone in it, but I wouldn't be surprised if somehow it has a microphone and it's listening to stuff. So that's nice, ain't it? Anyway, other than that, I guess just go throw away your smart TV and go get like a CRT old TV or just a regular LED non-smart TV. That works too. Like, why does it have to be a smart TV? I'm probably futuristically, I'm not buying smart TVs anymore. This is the one smart TV I have that I'm gonna root, and then from forward, I don't feel like doing this over and over again. Maybe. Depends on my experience with this rooting process. But I'm probably not gonna buy a smart device ever again, let alone these stupid s- Samsung smart refrigerators. Like, what? Why do I need a tablet on my refrigerator to advertise to me all this crap? Why do I need this AI to be managing and seeing all the things I have in the freaking fridge when I can use my eyes on a freaking piece of paper? Guys, AI and all of these processes are so unnecessary, but they're obviously pushing them for a specific reason, and it's definitely not convenience. Can't stress it enough. Stay safe, secure yourself, and go into more details. Be more active on the web with these kind of forums, with these kind of searches, with these kind of awareness. Tell your friends, share this video. Share this video with anyone that has an LG TV that uses WebOS, so they know what's happening, what will happen. And that little update that keeps asking them to update, they're not paranoid. It's really forceful. It's trying to get us to update. And again, I don't recommend updating in the next year or two because things are starting to lock down hard. Software locks. Anyway, that's all I can do for now. Just warn you guys, make a video, express the process I've done, and hope others can do.